Last Tuesday, July 14, a study in the New England Journal of Medicine showed solid results for Moderna's mRNA 1273 experimental vaccine against COVID-19. mRNA stock gained nearly 7% the following day. However, as the always excellent Matt Levine pointed out at Bloomberg, other names performed far better. Among Wednesday's big winners, Royal Caribbean (RCL), plus 21.2%; Norwegian Cruise Lines (NCLH), plus 20.7%; Carnival (CCL), plus 16.2%; American Airlines (AAL), plus 16.2%; United Airlines (UAL), plus 14.6%. Levine used the move to discuss the hypothetical legality of a Moderna insider buying call options on, say, RCL stock. But the moves on Wednesday go to an intriguing question about Moderna stock itself, which Levine also raised. Assume that an investor knew, with absolute certainty, that Moderna mRNA was going to successfully develop a vaccine against COVID-19. Should that investor buy mRNA stock? The answer appears to be a blindingly obvious, yes. And that's probably the simple, and correct, answer. But the more interesting question might be, can that investor find a better stock to own based on that information? The answer to that question is a bit more complicated. After all, there will be many companies that benefit from a successful Moderna vaccine. In fact, most companies will benefit. Presumably, the market as a whole would do the same. And the benefits likely be greatest for those stocks have been among 2020's worst performers, and thus have the most room for upside if some semblance of normalcy returns. There's certainly an argument that at least one, and perhaps several, of those names will outperform mRNA stock even if Moderna succeeds. There's also the question of how much benefit Moderna itself will get from the vaccine. Political factors may pressure pricing, and profits. And while Moderna is more, and in fact much more, than just a coronavirus play, its stock has risen over 400% since the company first disclosed progress toward a vaccine in late February. It's certainly fair to wonder whether the rally has gone far enough at this point. And even if it hasn't, there's a strong case that even investors who believe Moderna will succeed should look elsewhere to play that success. Better choices than mRNA stock. It's worth pointing out that Wednesday's move wasn't the only jump Moderna stock saw last week. mRNA gained 16% on Friday, and 51% in a week. As for the names that rallied Wednesday, they generally lagged. In fact, the U.S. global Jets ETF, Jets, rose less than 2%. Of course, that rally itself potentially adds to the relative attractiveness of other plays on Moderna's success. mRNA stock added about $13 billion in market value last week. Since February 25, the day after the company announced it had shipped the first batch of mRNA 1273 for Phase 1 trials, Moderna's market capitalization has increased by $30 billion to now stand near $38 billion.